Hello everyone. Hello, 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 fuck off. It's a dead looking lobby, I must say. I have no words when half the grid doesn't turn up. That's concerning. Everyone's gone, no one's on the stream. I really love it when no one turns up. Don't sign up for a league if you're not gonna race. That's all I have to say. Yeah, this is fun. Don't sign up for a league if you don't race. Simple. No one's watching. So, I don't get it. I'm gonna sign up for a league. I'm not gonna race. How many reserves have we got today? 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 out of the 9 drivers are reserves. 4 out of the 9 drivers are reserves. I don't get that. What's the point? Really baffled. I'm confused. Heavily. Nickname's wheels broke just 10 minutes before the race. It's really fun. I don't know what we can do. I don't. I'm really not looking forward to doing a race with no one in it. Why? 'Cause they're boring. 9 grid races, nothing happens. We're 20 minutes late because, yeah, I'm fucking... We've already had 1 race cancelled in Div 2. Don't sign up for a league if you're not gonna race. Simple as. All I'm saying. NDC's a joke. Not got... Right, NDC, both drivers are gone. They haven't got a single reserve. NDC's not bothered with a reserve. Can-Am's having to use both reserves. Yeah, there's not much. And Phil's not ready, so delayed even longer. Who actually hasn't even got a team in? There's no MRT. There's no NDC. B&R's got both drivers, so props to them. Can-Am's having to use 2 reserves. BRT's having to use a reserve. That's because Congdon's lost his seat. UMF, it's not really their fault. They had a problem literally 10 minutes before the race, but NDC, they haven't even got a fucking reserve in. Why? You can't... That just doesn't seem fair that neither driver can race. You don't inform us, and you don't even put a reserve in. Anyway, I guess we start a 9-man race. Who's ready to get bored? It's a big race though with no one here. There's actually a lot on the cards with the championship battle. There's 12 points between Maisto and Mamba Strike. So yeah, 12 points between them. Maisto, that gap was shrunk down massively after last round's kerfuffle, let's say. Mexico's gonna need a big qualifying here. Now he needs to secure the title. He needs to outscore. Yeah, to secure the title today, Maisto needs to outscore Mamba by 3 points, and Mamba will have the title. But 3 points. Well, that if Maisto gets pole, it's pretty much certain and done. I'm gonna be honest. Anyway, Maisto is very early out. Down some fairly more spread out. Then there's Mamba just behind. He might be able to pick up a little bit of a toe. There's Huber behind Casey. Casey a bit twitchy on the rear there through turn 11. He got a podium last time out. Casey's into the pits, he's on the mediums. Maisto's coming through the center S's. Huber's further back. Vaseline Cox in a tri-drive livery. He's racing for them tonight, not BRT. Z comes down the center S's, misses the apex for turn 1 there. Mambury's backed off a bit, slow outlap, but saving his tyres a bit more. Nails the apex quite nicely there. Gets a bit of a turn in, then drifting through 2 down to 3. There's Brand. Phil's coming on down the main straight to start his first lap. Did a questionable free stop yesterday. Brandon Casey, are they the only people? There's Tim burning some fuel, but Brandon Casey, the only ones pitting, it seems. There's Maisto on a lap. It's a really short lap here as he comes through turn 11. It's one of the shorter laps that we have on the calendar. It's only about a minute 10 in an F1 car. It's a minute 30 in GT3 cars, which is no mean feat. It's a good chance for Tri-Drive to score some solid points here. Mamba Strike, he's going to need a good quality. Mamba Strike needs to take pole to really give himself a good chance in the championship. To start first lap, the benchmark lap time is looking quick. Maisto 1:30, 2 milliseconds off, and that's a big benchmark lap time to set straight away. BBR Huber next across the line, and he's going to be near enough 2 seconds off. It's a 1:31.8, 1.8 seconds off. Not Vasilon Cock goes even slower. He'll go into third. Mamba Strike, he's looking fairly quick here as well. He crosses the line and goes into second. Phil, he's next across the lines. He goes a bit wide on the exit of 13. as he climbs up the hill, going down through 14 and 15 up towards the line. Maisto already coming out of a big lap here. Phil not keeping it to the inside. He sets a third. That's slower than his lap yesterday. Tim and Elmer there next set lap. Casey and Brand, they are just started their flying lap as they're on an outlap from there. Actually, Tim's still burning fuel, so Tim's not on a flyer. Mace, Elmer in... He's just got a Monster Energy logo. He's filling in over at Can-Am. Weird livery, I guess. Struggling for revs coming down towards 13, so maybe he's trying to burn some fuel as well. Max revving quite a fair bit. Near enough bottoming out. Maybe it's a bit too late. There's Tim actually going to the pit, so Tim, there's Maisto coming in as well. Mamba's going purple. There's a bit of traffic up ahead. He's now 2 tenths down. Vaseline Cox going to get a bit of a tow from him up ahead. Elmer will set a 1:32.1, so he wasn't actually burning any fuel. We'll go into 5th with that lap. Vaseline Cox needs a big improvement here, but he's a problem somewhere down the lap, and he's a long way off even with this tow. There's Mamba going into the pits. Phil and Casey. Casey's yet to set a lap, and so is Brand. Brand is coming through turn 11 now. Casey's coming through turn 13. A big moment there as he gets onto the curb. Just has to catch it a bit. That's going to cost him a good few tenths. There's Huber into the pits. So the top 3 all into the pits, taking some fresh tyres. Tim just out burning fuel as of now. Casey so far looking quick up towards the line. He will go third with a 1:30.5. He's only 6 tenths off of the fastest lap by Maisto. Phil, he's into the pits. He's going to be taking fresh rubber. So everyone just making sure they're getting some fresh rubber onto that car. Brand J, a 1:32.5. He gets a 1 second slowdown just as he crosses the line. That's really going to hamper him. That would have actually put him... That lap would have put him 4th then, without that 1 second penalty. So there's definitely time for him to find. I think he probably got it just over turn 15, where the pit entry is cutting a lot of that. Everyone out. They've only actually done a lap each, as everyone wanting to burn as much fuel, take as much rub, get some fresh rubber on. Better than what we saw in Div 3. Div 3 just keeps going with the laps. With it being a shorter lap round here, you can probably get 2 laps out of your tyres before they really start to fall off. Mamba and Maisto though, fuel-wise, Maisto, he's going more flat out, he's further around on the lap, but he's also burnt more fuel. Vaseline Cox can improve into 4th, it's a 1:31.4, a lot more like him. He's getting a bit of a 1 for Div 1 tomorrow. Up towards the centre, rest is then for Maisto. He's already set a blistering fast lap. Now, Mamba Strike, he's 3 tenths off, but this is where Mamba had a bit of a problem here. Maisto getting onto the curve, that might be our 2nd slowdown penalty, depending on how the game sees the track limits. Seems fine so far. Mamba, he's coming up to the start-finish line. There's his teammate further back. You could do with a tow from him. A bit like in Azerbaijan right now, over in Baku for the F1 race. There's Brandon Casey, the people that are starting on the mediums on the pits. Up towards turn 8 then for Maisto, through the middle sector. So where you're going to find the most time. It's the twistiest bit. It's where most of the turns are. It's the easiest part to spin as well. It's really tricky. It's up and down. It's very snaky. It's like a roller coaster here. It's a very slow roller coaster through this middle sector, but nonetheless it's tricky. And Mamba Strike here at the moment at turn 1 on his first lap. Hopefully he'll be finding time. Elm will go into 6th for 1:32 flat. A big snap of oversteer for Maisto. He's already 4 tenths down on his lap. That's not going to help him at all, and it's not going to help his exit as well, as it's a long flat run from 13 all the way up to the line, as he'll just go into the pits. Tim will set a 1:31.4 on his first flying lap. He'll have 2 more laps in him. Mamba Strike, he's currently going purple, as if he can find the time, did lose a lot of it in sector 1 now. He's 2 tenths up. He's a 1/4 of a second up, missing the apex a bit slidey through 13, but it's a decent exit nonetheless. Getting all that power of the DBR9. It's not the best car around here either in that Aston Martin, but still finding as much time as possible. Going to hug that inside, not taking 4 wheels off as well. He'll get himself penalty up towards the line. What will it be for Mamba Strike? He will go provisional pole. It's a 1:29.7. That is blistering for him, as Casey will let Phil go through. As Phil, again, getting onto that Astro strip on the exit of turn 13. He needs to find a lot of time to improve. Hubo, I think they'll put him 4 for 1:31.7. We'll find out in a minute. Casey's going to get a bit of a toe off of his teammate for today. Now, Phil runs really well. Doesn't keep it tight, but he's going to be a long way off there. He's 1.7 off of Brand J. Maisto's on an out lap. He decided to take some fresh rubber just for his final lap. He may have actually had a mistake somewhere on his lap, which meant he bailed anyway. But I'm sure he will be round for another lap. Vassal's on an out lap. Vasselin-Cock won't actually make it to the line, I don't think. Tim's coming up to the line. Will he be improving? It's looking decent so far. Up towards the line. He will not be improving, but we'll have time for one more lap. BBR Huber is coming up through turn 8. Mamba Strike's in this little group here. Maisto leads it in. Will Maisto actually be across the line? Now, this will be big if Maisto can't make it up to the line. He's got 10 seconds to make it, and I don't think Maisto, that pit stop might have actually cost him up towards the line. And yeah, checkered flag will be out. Maisto, I think this is an outlap for him as well, so he won't be improving. So Maisto won't take that crucial 2 extra points. Mamba Strike won't improve. Casey, he's currently improving, though. If he can find 6/10, it's a long it's a big ask. He currently is down, so he won't be finding it. Vasselin-Cock also won't be improving. Tim's on a lap. Huber's also on a lap. Casey, he's coming around the final 2 turns now, just a little kink at 15. I don't think he's going to be finding the time he needs, but a front row start for him would be pretty good up towards the line then for Casey. He won't improve. He nearly did. He was very close actually there. Brand J will improve, but he will stay 8th. BBR Huber, he's up towards the line. He won't be gaining any time. He's a long way down. Elmer, though, he's currently improving. It seems up towards the line. He's a 10th down, and Mamba's on pole. He'll bring that gap then down to 10 points, but with the lack of people in the field, Maisto still has the advantage, but he now needs to find 5 points on Mamba Strike to keep it going. The gap in the championship then, with Mamba Strike's 2 points for pole, he will bring the gap down to 10 points. So then, it's a small grid here today at Interlagos, but it's going to be a good one nonetheless then. Mamba Strike on pole, followed by Maisto. Casey for BRT's 3rd after he got a podium last time out. Vasselin-Cock 4th, running for his best result of the season. Tim 5th, BBR Huber 6th. Elmer's finally racing today as well. He's in 7th. Brand J 8th, and Phil is at the back in 9th. Lights are coming on then, you hear the revs, everyone's ready to go then at Interlagos. There's a jump start from Brand J, you just saw there, and away we go. It's a terrible start there by Vasselin-Cock. Huber almost hits his teammate, and it's a brilliant launch there by Mamba Strike as they all pile down towards the centre S's. Casey's having to fend from Elmer further back as Tim's going to try and go around the outside of Elmer down towards turn 1 as he tries to find his way up into the podium spot straight away. Mamba and Maisto getting out all the way down towards turn 1. They're going to go right at it. There's Casey who's almost getting spun around on the exit of turn 3. There's chaos going on as Huber's now found himself getting him 4th and Elmer's up into 3rd. Up towards turn 4. Maisto's eyeing up a move onto Mamba Strike, his championship rival. Mamba backs Maisto up a bit. It's going to allow Elmer to close up, and that's Tim going off into the background, I think there. A few people going off. Tim's off, and Tim's picked himself up engine damage, and Brand J's at a shocker as well as he's all the way down. Casey's currently down in 7th. He's not picked up damage, but he's down the order. So I don't know if that's about. Casey, a lack of grip off to start being on the harder compound of tyre. Phil's actually got himself up into 5th as Vasselin-Cock trying to cut his way through after a shocking start, starting 4th. But Tim, he's going to fall down to 6th as Vasselin-Cock will get himself up ahead. But Mamba and Maisto there. Elmer, if he can get himself up into slipstream range, he'll... Oh, there's a big moment there for Elmer as we run up towards turn 13. It's an eventful lap 1 then. Bit of a moment from both of them as they go onto the curb. Bit of oversteer. They have to correct it for Mamba and Maisto. Tim is going to be all the way down the order from turn 4. That engine damage is going to really cost him. And he's going to have to pit then. Up at the end of lap 1, Mamstrike leads from Maisto. Maisto's going to try and find his way around the outside of the center. He's going to be trying to find a cutback. Mamstrike puts it right on the apex there. Doesn't allow him any room to get through. Maisto's going to be a long run down towards turn 4. Then he's going to be tucked into that slipstream. Same with BBR Huber in the battle for third. Down towards turn 4. Then it's a brilliant overtaking spot for long. Technically the longest straight, but it's not the longest flat out section as they run down. Then Mamba defends the inside line. Maisto around the outside is going to try and go, but anyone will actually defend the outside line. That's smart thinking by him, but he runs really wide. That's going to allow Huber to go through, and surely Elmer's going to have to let him through, or is actually going to pick himself up a penalty there for track limit. Surely Maisto trying to find his way through, and yeah, there's a penalty for Elmer. It's really hard, as people were saying yesterday with Pino's penalty, it's really hard to actually burn your penalty off around this track. It's really tricky. There's not, it just doesn't burn down as well as other tracks. That's Phil falling down into 7th as he battles with Casey through turn 9. Vaslincock, he's up into 5th, his best result of the season being a 6th place, I believe, but 5th so far, done good. Tim's just out to pits and he's going to be 53 seconds off the back already. Coming towards the end of lap 2 then, Mamstrike leads, followed by Maisto. Huber and Elmer are going out, the old teammates. Huber's going to try and send it around the outside, switch back to the inside, back into the slipstream, ring around Duro as we go, but in the battle for the lead, then up towards the center S's. I don't think Maisto's going to be close enough on his fastest lap for Mamstrike. He'll be loving that extra point. So late move there by Huber as he tries to send up the inside, tries to avoid contact. They don't touch. That's brilliant racing there, as Huber just can't find the grip, as Elmer will be able to defend it. Down towards turn 4, the battle for the lead. The Corvette's really good on a straight line, but so is the DBR9, and Maisto 6 tenths up through sector 1. Probably helped in the big part by the slipstream, as most of sector 1 is the run down towards turn 4. The Corvette as well, we see yesterday with the night shift boys, really bad on tyres and fuel. The Porsches of Vaslincock and Huber, expect them to do well. Through turn 9 we go, then Maisto. Maybe Maisto just going to sit back and try and save a bit of fuel here. Let's see. Fuel's pretty much even right now. Same with Huber, as Huber's actually got past Elmer, as Elmer's got a lot of his penalty off of, and Casey and Vaslincock were teammates last week. Now Vaslincock's over at a different team. Tim's also picked himself up a penalty. Brand J, he's 3 seconds off the back of off the back of Phil, and Tim's a long way down off of them. As we come to the end of lap 3. Been nothing short of eventful so far. It's been a chaotic lap 1. Things are quieting down now as everyone tries to find some space, but Casey and Vaslincock, they're going to give each other a run for the money. Casey qualifying 3rd. He actually qualified 2nd last week, and if he can continue his pace into tomorrow, you expect good things from him. The battle for the lead though, as the championship stands, Mamstrike, if I can do some math here, he'll be taking 6 points. That gap will go down to 6 points. So if things do finish like this, that gap will go down to 6 points between Mamstrike and Maisto. Now on countback, who's won more races? Because next week at next week at Mad York, which was the cancelled race, Maisto didn't have the best of strategies there, but looking down through the order now at Maggiore, if Mamstrike can find some decent pace, if it finishes like this now, Mamstrike will take all 18 points compared to Maisto's 12. So Mamba, yeah, fastest lap Poland race when that's 18 points. That'll close the gap down to 6 points, and then next week if it does the exact same thing again. But Mamba's just going to have to hope that Maisto does what he did last time out Laguna Seca. He's going to go for the move down towards the CNRSs. He's got the inside line, but he's going to have to bail out. Mamba's so confident on the brakes then into the CNRS. Maisto could have gone for something there, but right now just sitting in the back. Got a tiny bit extra fuel. That's Huber picking up a penalty. Elmer's got a penalty as well, and everyone from third, 4, sorry. Yeah, third, fourth and fifth, all with a penalty. Then there's KC in sixth without a penalty. Phil's in seventh with a penalty, and Brian James near enough win that penalty window, and Tim's just trying to close his way back down. Points is possible for Tim. Whether he gets it or not is a different matter. KC qualified third as well. He's going to hope, with the penalties up ahead as well, that could do him some big benefits. We saw the penalties yesterday were quite big with Alpino. So keep your nose within the track limits, and that could actually give you a position. It's a good exit there by Maisto. He's just not going to have the good enough run, as Mamba defending really well through the middle sector, through this tight bit, and his exits where it mattered, through the CNRS and through turn 13, just doesn't allow Maisto to get the run that's needed. Mamba Strike seemingly got a really good setup on that car as well. Misses the apex a bit there though, and that might give Maisto a good run, as Maisto carrying more speed through the corner. And he is rolling the back. That gap's under 2/10, but he just pulls wider. Through turn 14, he just pulls a wider line, and that's not really dirty air, because there's not much that's fighting you through there, and he's costing himself a lot of time. Is he going to try and send it? No, he thinks better of it and just slips back into the slipstream of Mamba Strike. And 8 minutes gone, you have to think he's just been a bit cautious on his fuel here. He's not actually getting much of a benefit from it though, as they're on down towards turn 4. Now that Corvette, is he potentially running in a lower fuel mode though, and trying to do his best to save fuel? Now the Corvette's not the best on saving fuel, as we saw yesterday, and we know the Corvette's got a lot more power than that. Huber's comfortably in third right now. Got his first podium yesterday, maybe he can make it back-to-back podiums. There's a bit of chaos going ahead as Casey and Vasilinkov, that's Elmer getting pushed down towards 6th. Let's have a bit of a look at that then quickly. What the hell happened here? Down towards turn 4. There's a bit of chaos going on already. Casey's got the tow. He's got for as he tucks into the slipstream of Vasilinkov. Elmer's there as well. Elmer's going to try and defend his way back around the outside. It's Casey's rear wheel, and just Elmer was a bit boxed in there. There's not much he could have done. But Casey up to 5th. He tries to get his comeback to find his 3rd podium in GTEL. Vasilinkov, he's got 2 podiums in Div 2 from last season, trying to get some more. Phil being hunted down by Brian James. His penalty's gone up to 3 seconds, but back up at the front then. Up towards the centre as Maisto just taking a normal racing line, maybe trying to focus on getting a normal exit now, so maybe... Oh, there's Mamba Strike drifting round. There's a contact between Mamba and Maisto. What happened there as we run down towards turn number 4? What the hell? Down towards turn 4 we go then. Maisto and Mamba Strike. Maisto's not going close enough through, but can we have a look what happened there then? Right on board with Maisto. He's taking the normal racing line. Maybe Mamba wasn't expecting it. Oh no, he caught the grass. He caught the grass, and Maisto could have gone for that. Maisto could have gone for that move and been comfortably in the lead. I think he bailed out of it out of respect, not to go and fully spin Mamba, but Mamba catching the grass going into turn 1. Able to save it quite nicely though, but that's brilliant and respectful racing there by Maisto, just to let Mamba Strike stay ahead. And maybe that is a sign that he is fuel saving a bit and does want Maisto, maybe Maisto does want Mamba to have a bit more fuel going into the pit stop, so he spends less time in the pits. That's a big way to gain position here. But so far, Maisto not saving much fuel, and he's struggling to stay in the slipstream as well, especially through this long way up towards turn 1 from turn 13. It's a long flat run. It's a slow lap for both of them, mainly probably because of that incident down at turn 1. Huber down towards turn 1 as well. Casey, a late move. He's going to try and pull out to the left-hand side of Vasilinkov. We'll have to defend the long way around here. Casey, big inside line. They do not make contact, and Vasilinkov going to have to sit back into the slipstream here. And this might invite Elmer as well, as it's not the best of runs out of turn 3 for Vasilinkov, because Elmer's now going to be all down the back. Maisto, he's fallen off a bit here, so is what's going on here? We'll have a look at that in a minute. Down towards turn 4. Right, let's see if we can actually have a look what happened with Maisto down towards turn 4. There's Mamba. Did he make mistakes? He seemed to lose a lot of time. Oh, he goes for the move and there's contact and he just has to bail out. That'll explain why Mamba's gone wide, and Mamba might have actually picked up a penalty from that as well. Let's have a look. No, he's fine, but a bit of contact. So Maisto is racing for that lead. Casey's got himself up to 4th now as he'll chase down Huber, Vaslinkock in 5th, and both of Vaslinkock and Elmer 7/10 slowdown penalty they'll have to get rid of at some point before the end. Very slow. Maisto with the help of the toe is clawed back 2/10, but now it's not comfortably in that toe around the back of Mamba. Maybe Mamba can burn a bit of fuel, try and bridge a bit of a gap here, and try and do some damage to Maisto, maybe make Maisto burn a bit more fuel as well to try and keep himself into the slipstream range as they come down through the Center S. Through the exit, Mamba's gaining a bit of time there. He's gained about a 10th through that section. He's not going to be close enough for a move down towards turn or through the Center S as we go. Elmer's got himself past Vaslinkock, tucked back into the slipstream with DBR9 power. All the way down towards turn 4. Now, wasn't this a beautiful shot down towards turn 4 of Vaslinkock and Elmer? Maisto's latching himself onto the back of Mamba Strike slowly but surely. Their gap's still at about 8/10, which is just out of the slipstream, but it's a really good exit from turn 9 there. You see on the top, you see on the left-hand side of your screen, sorry, you can see the time gaps between them. It was 1 second at the start of the lap, it's down to about half seconds. Maybe Mamba's just being a bit more cautious, letting Maisto come back into this, which I couldn't understand why, but Mamba's a good driver, there's probably some tactical element in it. Huber's also gaining on Maisto though as well. But stuff like that, if an accident does happen between one of these two, and with Maisto being the car behind, well, you have to say that it's one each, two whose fault the two mini incidents are. Down towards turn 1, Maisto doesn't think about a move. They seemingly go a bit deep into turn 1, but the apex comes really late. You really can't see it for a long way as it dips downhill. It's a really tricky corner. So easy to mess up. We saw Alpino doing it many times yesterday. Down towards turn 4 though, I don't think these two are going to be close enough for a move. Casey, the gap between Casey and Huber is 5.4 seconds, so that's something to watch out for. The gap between Maisto and Huber's gone up as well. A 1:30.5 last lap, whole half second quicker than Mamba Strike. So, as we approach the first quarter of this race being done, Brand's still in 8th, so has he messed up somewhere? Brand's also on the medium, so Tim's taken a big chunk of time out in only a quarter of the race. So Tim getting points here isn't off the table. Phil getting some decent points as well. It'll be a good point scoring week for BRT. Schrager got his first points yesterday. Phil's got 2 points so far, and he would love to extend on that as well. Mamba Strike and Maisto. 10th time up to, or 10 times done. 10th time along this straight. 10th run up towards turn 1 it will be, other than the race start, but tucked into the slipstream. Maisto not necessarily made the most of some decent chances he's had. I don't know if take, but this call comes down to strategy. Huber and Casey, that gap's around about the same last lap pace. A 1:32.3. Casey took a 10th out of Huber last lap. It's not much, but it's something. Elmer and Vaslinkock last lap. Elmer was 3/10 faster than the Dutchman. Through the tricky turn 7, 8, sorry, through the turn 6, 7 and 8. It's really tricky through there, especially when you're following someone as Maisto really close to the back of Mamba Strike through turn 9. Can't really find the way through, but does get runs a bit wider on exit as they come through turn 11. Now we've got this long held turn 12, just a bit of a lift there. by Mamba Strike. You have to have so much confidence to keep it flat through there and keep it planted. Not going full throttle all the way until the exit through turn 13 as well. On the 2/10 though, Maisto, if he can stuck right into the back of Mamba Strike, he's gaining quite rapidly. He's going to have to pull to the side at some point. Mamba goes really defensive. He looks for inside line wall. Mamba Strikes. Maisto's going to have to go the long way around through turn 1. Very close onto the back there. That's really creepy there as Maisto around the outside is going to go. There's going to be a bit of contact between the two. But Maisto will finally get himself through with a good exit out of turn 13. A good run. Maisto goes instantly defensive. Looked like he was about to go and hit the barrier then. Mam's going to have to try and go the long way around. He's seemingly got momentum. He's got the top line speed. But has he got the confidence on the brakes? They're bumping and barging all the way through, and Mamba's just going to have to bail out and take the normal racing lines. He takes the tighter line through turn 5 as Phil into the pits then quite early. He's got a lot of fuel in the car as well. Maybe trying to get an undercut off of Gran J as they were quite close together. But let's have a look at that move as I have really just gone and messed up with that button press. Anyway. Pressed the wrong button and botched the replay. I do apologise. Huber. Casey is gaining last lap then. Took 9/10 out of in last lap. That really good lap there by Casey at 32.4. He's also on the mediums compared to Huber's soft. So if we actually have a quick look through the tyres. Softs for Maisto, softs for Mamba, softs for Huber, mediums for Casey, softs for Elmer, softs for Vasilenko, mediums for Brand J, softs for Tim, and mediums for Phil. Now, what tyres did Tim actually start on is the big question. Phil was out on mediums, I know he was on the softs. What tyre did Tim start on? So Phil's used both sets. We know Tim actually had to do an early pit stop. There's Mamba actually going into the pit, so Mamba may be responding with a bit of a lack of grip, going for an undercut. Vasilenko will follow through as well. He's got enough fuel, so it's not at the stage where if you're having to pit early because you're about to run out of fuel, where it comes to the end and you have to do a lot of fuel saving, and you might run out of fuel in the 20-minute stint. Solid amount of fuel, underfuels it a bit as well. Mamba goes onto the mediums. You don't have to full tank it. I'm guessing Vasilenko might though. Let's see when he comes out of the pits. It's a long time. You do waste a lot of time if you're going to full tank it, especially when you don't need a full tank of fuel. You see, Mamba only got it up to 82%. Vasilenko goes onto the mediums and he takes 91% of fuel. So still taking a decent amount. Not full tank, but enough to be safe to the end. Maisto, will he respond in this lap? It's going to have to be a good outlap by Mamba Strike. Has he come out in traffic as well? Mamba's just ahead of his teammate Brand J, so surely he's going to just tell him to leave it up toward the pit entry. Maisto will come in. He will instantly respond then. So how much has that undercut helped Mamba Strike then? And did he actually have to clear his teammate, or was he just ahead of his teammate beforehand? Nah, we'll never know. But if he was caught up behind Brand J, well, that's going to be a bit problematic for the Brit as he runs up towards turn 13. He's a bit more fuel. He's had 5% extra fuel than Maisto as well. Also depends how much fuel Maisto will take. But the undercut then, has it paid off for Mamba? He's on the run up towards the pit lane. It's a long run though from turn 13 up towards turn 1. Elmer's also into the pits, and there's fuel going into Maisto's car now. It's going to be a close one. It's going to be a tight one. He is out and away, and Mamba Strike, he's taken 87% fuel. So maybe Mamba was caught up behind his teammate. Mamba's in third. He's coming through for center rest now. It's going to be a close one, and I think Maisto has just held on. He's coming out, no, and Mamba Strike will get him on the pit entry, so Mamba Strike just about gets himself ahead. Maisto's gone on to the mediums though, so add him onto the list as they come up towards turn 1. Brand J, he started on the mediums. Elmer started on the softs. He comes out on the mediums. Casey also yet to pit. His mediums are going quite well, so his fuel's not too bad either. Brand will come out on the soft, so he's used both sets of tyres. Tim, after doing a bit of an early pit stop, he'll be in pretty soon as well. I don't think he actually took fuel, but either way, He's getting himself up there, and if he can show decent pace, there is still a chance he could actually snag a point or two here for Can-Am. In comes the new race leader then, BBR Huber. He was running provisionally third. Casey, him doing the medium stint first, and he's showing good pace on the mediums as well. Now, we saw this work for Helix. Helix gained a lot of time starting on the mediums, and whilst everyone's on the medium stint, now Helix went a bit too long, I must say, on the mediums, however, didn't have as much time on the softs to gain the time. Now, the benefit of this, whilst everyone's on the... If you have decent pace on the mediums on the first stint, whilst everyone's on the mediums, you're on the softs gaining decent time. In case of decent pace, and he can gain the time onto Huber. And Huber's penalty as well, it's 8/10 as he comes out. And where's Vaslinkock? Vaslinkock's not going to actually pass him. Says Huber's dropping down the order, but Huber's coming right out of the pits now. But he's the 7th person confirmed to use both sets of tyres. There's Casey who's yet to pit, and I'm not sure what tyres Tim actually started on. Huber's 34 seconds off the back of the pit, so that might actually mean he's about 5 seconds off. And Casey, if he wants to get past Huber, I must say, probably go in this lap. Don't want to lose too much time, because he's now losing a decent amount of time when it is about a 38-39 second loss. Into the pits does come Casey, so he does listen to me. It's a scary pit entry as well with that barrier really close. It's quite terrifying, but a 2.3 second gap for Mamba Strike. He didn't just didn't just undercut Mamba or Maisto. He has actually done it quite nicely as well on Casey now. Casey's got some pace to try and get his second podium in Div 2 and his third podium overall, and just try and close the gap down to the cars ahead. He'll go into the soft tyre, I'm assuming. It'd be pretty daft if they'll go onto a soft tyre, and BBR Huber's not far ahead either. The gap last time we checked was at 3 seconds. It's going to be bigger than that. Tim's into the pits as well. He was on 8% fuel. As Casey will run down on towards the back straight then. Out of the pits with around about the same gap to make up, but this time one's on fresher and the softer compound of tyres. So now here's where Casey needs to start setting laps like he did in quali with a 1:30, and 1:30s are brilliant. When you're only half a second off of Mamba's pole time, now you've got some decent pace in your car, and right now Casey's showing it. And he's got 4 seconds to close down to this man, BBR Huber. This man has 2 seconds to gain on this man, Mamba Strike. And as it stands, the championship will be going down to the last round. And there's Brand JD and Effing. Now, whether that was an internet cutout or what, it does promote Tim into the points nonetheless. Now, what's the gap between Tim and Phil? This is something I actually want to see. Is that Phil up ahead? Yeah, Phil. There's only 13 seconds between them, so Tim's Div 1 pace absolutely flying, I must say. Mamba coming through the CNRS's last lap then. A 10th quicker was Maisto. Vaslinkock Phil is running in 7th so far, so guaranteed a point. This is what we really don't like about these short races on some of the DNS. Everyone's guaranteed a point. Oh well. In the standings, actually, there's no MR. Looking, if we load up the team standings, actually, because we noticed this last week. Team standings. To Can-Am, there's 5 points to Can-Am between BRT and Can-Am. So far, BRT are gaining 10 points to the 5 points. So, they'll actually get tied up. if it finishes this way. And Casey's hunting down Huber. Last lap a 1:31.2 compared to Huber's 1:31.8, and Casey's still improving. Casey's actually gone purple. Maysto's fastest lap 1:30.4, which Mamba would dearly like that extra point, but I don't think Mamba will complain if Casey can take it, and that would be an extra point which will also put Biotti ahead in the championship standings. Anyway, up towards the line, Casey, will he go fastest? No, he won't, but he still will improve, and he's not gained as much time onto Huber, so he's still taken a good 9/10 out of him, but at one point that gap was a fairly shorter than what it was. But benefits of each driver, but nonetheless that gap is closing down, and the gap between Mamba Strike and Maysto as well is closing down a fair bit by a 1/10 a lap so far, so this medium tyre pace isn't the best for Mamba Strike. Through the middle sector we go. Huber will be able to see Casey now on his mirrors. 2.4 seconds is that gap as he comes through turn 6 and 7 on the run up towards turn 8. It's a tricky braking point, but he gets onto the curb nicely. Casey as well. A bit risky on track limits there and cutting a big chunk of the corner. We kept seeing that last season actually, so that comes at no surprise. Huber's penalty as well, 6/10, so that's something to keep in mind. Elmer and Vasilinkov. Vasilinkov right on the back of Elmer. But Elmer's penalty, big helping to Vasilinkov, because Vasilinkov actually got himself ahead as well there. So that's a bit intriguing. Mamba then, 1.8 seconds of the gap last lap. 4/10 was taken out of him by Maysto. Maysto having a good lap. Casey going purple again up towards the line. He will improve. He'll set his first sub 31 lap time this race, and he's just losing time out through that final sector, it seems. Through that middle sector he's quite good, and Maysto on his lap I do believe he would have had the toe off of Mamba Strike anyway, but last lap 8/10 taken out of Huber again, so Casey is hunting down Huber. Huber on that medium tyre, they will be more durable, they will be able to go a little longer, but in strategy wise we don't know how much of that will actually pay out. Casey, he's soon actually going to be in the dirty area. Now one place you don't want to be in the dirty area is through 6 and 7, that is really tricky in a GT3 car. Through turn 12. Now that gap, Casey, a good exit here. He's gone purple again, and now he's going to have the toe all the way down the main straight as well. That's a brilliant exit, I must say there by Casey, nailing it. No hint of an oversteer, no needed for a correction. Huber still having maybe a setup better for a straight line as he does pull away, even with Casey in that toe. But that toe, nonetheless, going to probably help Casey's lap time a bit here as he comes up towards the line. And he will improve again. Huber, over a second taken out of him last lap as he actually goes a bit deep as well into turn 1. And Casey, he's blistering through that middle sector. That's the most technical part. And so far, Casey took into that slipstream as well. And I'm sure he would love to set the fastest lap of the race. So far, Mamba Strike will be needing it. As it stands, as it stands right now, with Mamba having the fastest, sorry, with Maysto having the fastest lap, that gap in the championship standings will go up to 8 points instead of the original 6, which makes it even harder for Mamba Strike in the final round. But Casey right onto the back of Huber now, as they do come through turn 9 up towards 10 and 11. Little kink at 10, then the heavy braking at the hairpin through 11. There's just not, these are really tight hairpins. On paper they'd be good for overtaking, but there's just not enough run to get close enough, and it's really tricky and tight as well. Casey now in the dirty air, being behind the slower cars, struggling, but he's a lot closer than he was last time. He's going to be right in the back of Huber, and he's already having to pull out, and he's going to have to go around the long way, so just going to have to tuck back into the slipstream the long way around. Hubert's got the softer compound. He's going to have more grip going down towards turn 1. He's got the racing line. Huber is the inside line road to defend Casey. Can he brake a little later? He's got the fresh tyres. He's got the softer tyres. Can't quite get it done, but Huber, where's Huber actually gone? Huber, you can see on the minimap at the bottom right, Huber went off track there, and Casey's just going to have the tight inside line, and Huber, I think, will let him go. That's brilliant racing there. As Huber also picked himself up a time penalty, and Casey, just before turn 4, should be a car's width ahead, but Huber, that Porsche actually having better top speed than Toyota. So Huber coming into it just at the end, but Casey will get himself up to 3rd. Vasilinkov and Elmer are going out as well as we run down towards turn number 4. 3.4 seconds slowdown compared to a 6.4 second slowdown in the battle for 5th here. Very interesting. Vasilinkov lost his personal best of the season. Elmer's going to send it really late into turn 4, whereas they're lucky that goes to the penalty. And Vaselinkov's going to hold on to their penalties, kind of saving them ironically there. But Vasilinkov, he's lost out on 5th place twice this season due to a penalty. He lost out on the line to Tim at Laguna Seca in Div 2 last week, so he's going to be hoping for something a little better this time round. Huber back past Casey, and Casey now is on the softer compounder tyre. He can't spend too much behind Huber. Casey needs to get past Huber and just go. Casey needs to make the most of him being on the softer compound. He's trying to pull himself ahead here. Trying to make the move, pulling out. Needs to switch to the inside. Huber goes defensive. Casey's now going to be able to switch down to the inside line, and this should be a fairly standard move. You would think for Casey, Huber going to try and go the long way around and defend it. Casey's going to have the apex, but coming through turn 3, Huber's going to have the inside line, and Casey's just going to have to bail. But he's going to tuck back into the slipstream then, all the way down towards turn 4. It's a fairly long run, but as we've also seen, that Toyota's really poor in a straight line, which is seemingly where Huber's doing all the business. Now Casey gaining the time, but in the great words of Murray Walker, catching's one thing, overtaking's another, but Casey will have the inside line through 5 and will make it through, but a better straight line speed and the inside line of Huber up towards turn 6 will allow him to probably retake it, but Casey, more grip around the outside, might be able to put up a fighting chance here. He will run wide off the turn though, and it's going to have to be a bit more of a mind game there as he tries to find a bit of a switch back there through turn 8. And around the outside through turn 9. Can he stick it? That will be impressive. He almost does a Mesa. He's going to have the inside line through turn 10. Can Casey hold on? Through turn 11 we go. He does have that inside line. Huber has to go onto the curb, and Huber very slow, but he will still cut ahead. And Huber does have that penalty. He's moving all over the place now with the lag. It's very uncomfortable to watch. As what's Elmer saying yay about? Oh, Elmer's gone and picked up some engine damages. Tim's also got past Phil. So Elmer gives Vasilinkov a bit of a breather, but these two wish they could have a breather. Back into the slipstream then up towards turn 1. Casey then, fastest in the middle sector this race. Very late lunge there. He pulls out to the left-hand side. Very late trying to catch Huber off guard there. Huber has to leave him space, and Casey gets that car slowed down a bit too much, tries to find a bit of a switchback, going to be side by side, but when it comes to a straight line speed and the inside line, we know that Porsche is going to be a lot better than the Toyota. But Casey, around the outside, needs to try and find himself a bit of a switch to the inside line, but there is a Porsche there, but Casey's still ahead, and Casey just has to really slow down. I think he caught the grass fan just a bit shaky, and Huber will be able to defend it nicely. And the more he does this, Casey taking time, or Huber taking time out of his penalty. Elmer into the pits then. If he'd done it a bit later, that would have been beneficial. Huber onto the grass there, and that's going to be allowed Casey to pull ahead easily, and he puts it in front of Huber just before he can get through, and that will also increase Huber's penalty. 2.4 seconds slow down as well, so Casey getting some big benefit here. So Huber, Casey in the battle for 3rd. Now Casey should be comfortably ahead now. Up at turn 4 is really where Casey needs to capitalise. Casey's the fastest in the middle sector, and if he can get some clean air, say I move down at turn 4 and a bit of a battle gone, but Huber in that Porsche, better straight line speed and 2 long straights from 13 down to turn 1 and from turn 3 up towards turn 4. Huber would be the beneficiary, but Casey with that softer compound does get a better exit out of the center S, and now he's bridging Cuba almost out of slipstream range, which is around about that 1 second window. The battle for the lead's actually, still going on. Maisto and Mamba back at it again. Maisto's got a bit more fuel than Mamba coming into the pits, or coming into the second pit window, but Huber falling off the back of Casey. And this is what I mean when he gets through the middle sector now. Casey, that gap, second going into the middle sector, I can see that being 1.5 coming out of it. Blue flags up ahead, that is for Phil. Elmer catching engine damage, and he's now going to find himself 13 seconds off the back of Phil, who's on the mediums. Elmer's early pit stop might mean he might have to pit again, but up towards turn 1, Maisto. Mamba's going to get a bit of a tow from the Hyundai up ahead. And Maisto's quite far off the back there. Coming out of the middle sector, 1.7 seconds. Casey is pulling away. Now Huber's out of that slipstream range. That gap will just increase through the middle sector, where Casey is better than everyone else. And now he can start to work and pull a bit of a gap, and Mamba's going to be quite blessed to have Phil ahead of him in that slipstream. Blue flags up ahead though. We won't want Phil to hold him up too much as they come down towards turn 4 and 5. And Mamba will dearly love to get fastest lap. There we go. Phil gets out of the way there. And Maisto's actually caught up behind Phil. He gets a bit of a tow there. I don't quite know what he's doing. But actually, whatever Maisto was trying to do kind of impacted him a bit more than probably would have liked. But anyway, Maisto doesn't waste too much time losing time and gets himself back into the slipstream. It's fairly close as well, 3 tenths off the back now. Is that going to be close enough to go for a move? Is he wanting to go for a move? That gap's coming down now, and he dummies, and into the pits then goes Maisto. And Maisto now will be trying to do what Mamba did to him last time round, and do a bit of a switcheroo and do an undercut. Tim, he used both sets of tyres now as well. So then, everyone actually coming into the pits there. Maisto's coming out onto the softs. Huber, Vaseline-Cock is out. Casey going to go a bit longer. That's Huber trying to get a bit of an undercut onto Casey, so Casey will probably, should be in this lap. Shouldn't try and burn his fuel out too much, as that's quite risky. He just needs to get himself into the pits. Huber comes out 89% fuel in the tank. That's something to watch out for. But Casey can't let Huber get too much of a benefit on this undercut. So Casey realistically should be in this lap. Casey's actually gaining on Mamba strike as well. That's something to note. Tim, he's into the pits. Phil, he pitted as well, and he's 30 seconds off the back of Elmer, but Elmer's fuel quite risky. Mamba strike in this lap then, very low on fuel. He's actually red lighted it. Casey, will he be in this lap? I would recommend he does come in, all a bit twitchy on exit. And Maisto, 38 seconds up the road. So it's going to be a close one between Mamba Strike and Maisto. But into the pits then does come Casey. Now where is Maisto going to come out as he's coming through turn 13? Mamba Strike, he just pulled into his pit box. Now we're getting some fresh rubber onto the Aston Martin. The B&R mechanic trying to get a quick pit stop in for the Brit. And here comes the German chasing down the Brit. I'm sure there's a joke in here somewhere. Up towards the centre S's then, Mamba Strike. He's coming out of the pit lane. But there's also Maisto coming down through the centre S. It's going to be a close one, and I think Maisto comfortably ahead then. Maisto's pulled a big undercut Even though Mamba Strike, 2 seconds, what an outlap there by Maisto then. He also put more fuel in his car. Huber and Casey, who's going to come out ahead? I think Casey's going to be comfortably ahead from Huber. And out we come, 2.4 seconds, or just about 2 seconds. Casey comfortably ahead then, but Maisto brilliant on the undercut there. And it's a brilliant outlap. A 1:34. Now, I don't know why that hasn't actually gone to fastest lap, but either way, we're in for a nice little battle at the end here. Casey, he's currently running in third after starting third. He was also involved in a first lap accident. Maisto's gone purple in the middle sector. Mamba, however, he's got his tyres are a lap younger. He's also going to have a bit of a lighter car. He was the quicker in qualifying, so on the soft tyre, you would expect Mamba Strike to be the quicker driver. But Maisto up towards the line. Will he improve fastest lap? I don't think he will. Mamba Strike, a 1:32, so that's a good outlap by the Brit as well. Last lap then, what was the time taken out? 4/10 Mamba took out of Maisto. As the battle for the championships about to get spicy. 10 points is the gap between them currently, as Mamba got that 2 bonus points for pole position. He's also going to need fastest lap. He was purple in the first sector. Britain v Germany, and Spain v Britain in the battle for the podium. Where have we heard this one before? There's a joke in here somewhere. Anyway, Mamba Strike dearly needs fastest lap and the win here. That will bring the gap down to 6 points, but as it stands, the gap currently at 10 points. If he gets fastest lap, that'll bring it down to 9. He's currently going purple by a big amount here, and a good exit as well as what's needed. It's almost like a good exit out of turn 16 at Baku. It's a long run all the way up to turn number 1. And it's just some flat-out kings here, and Mamba Strike's taken good 6/10 out of Maisto this lap. And Mamba's having a quick lap here up towards the line. He will set the fastest lap of the race at 1:30.3, which is just what he needed. So, Mamba, how much time he took? 4/10 out of him that lap then. So Mamba's definitely catching. He's not much off his personal best through the first sector either. But Mamba is catching Maisto, and Mamba is going to be eager to get this one on and get that car past Casey. Huber's gaining on Casey, but Huber's penalty as well is there, so maybe when it comes to them both on the same compound, that's going to be an interesting one. But the battle for the lead then, it's also the battle for the championship. 15 minutes to go, and it's going to be an all-out brawl here between these two. Maisto versus Mamba Strike then. Maisto severely hampered himself last time out, and Mamba's running quite close to his fastest lap from last lap as well. But Maisto's also seemingly stepped up the pace a bit. He's not far off what Mamba's pace is right now. He's only lost a good 10th this lap as they come up towards the line. Maisto, 1:34 sets personal best, and 4/10 off his fastest lap. Exactly 1/10 faster last lap was Mamba Strike. That's quite impressive, but he's going to need a bit more than that if he wants to try and catch Maisto ahead. If Maisto finishes with fastest lap and wins the race, it will take 18 points compared to what Maisto will take is 12 points. The gap's currently at 12 points. The gap will close down by 6 points, and it will be an absolute... It's going to be a brilliant finale. But that's if it finishes as it is now, Maisto will take 15 points and the gap won't actually go down. Maisto will take 15 points and Mamba will take 15 points. Fastest lap, pole position, and then second place. So the gap will then stay at 12 points. Maisto as well this lap's a bit quicker than Maisto, and is Maisto actually running on fastest lap pace right now, because Mamba's not too far off personal best lap times either. Maisto might catch a bit of a toe off of Elmer up ahead, so that might be helpful as well. Maisto hunting down that fastest lap across the line. Oh, milliseconds in it, but he was quicker than Maisto last lap. In the battle for third, Phil might be a bit of help to his teammate here, Casey, who's being hunted down by BBR Huber. Vaseline Cox currently running 5th in the middle of no man's land. There's Phil running like he's going to get some more points, but there is Tim also catching on good pace. He was 2 seconds quicker than Phil last lap. Mamba's going to dearly want to get himself into slipstream range at some point within the next 12 minutes. He's got 12 minutes to close down this 1.2 second gap on two guys which are so equally matched on pace. It was a brilliant undercut by Maisto. Anything can still happen with this race, and then in the next round as well. Maisto would probably be looking at securing the title today if it wasn't for his antics at Laguna Seca, where he decided to give himself engine damage. An unlikely mistake for the championship leader, but coming through turn 13. Mamba Strike a bit cautious, you must say. Had to do a little correction as well. And Maisto just a much better exit, putting a lot of time. Try drive for third, well, it's a BRT or a try drive for third, so either one. Last lap, a 1:30.6 for Mamba Strike. A 10th slower than Maisto last lap, but it's a good exit through the center S's, as he is gaining a bit of time there. He might put himself within slipstream ranges. Casey goes in and slaps in the fastest lap of the race, a 1:30 flat. Now this pace in Div 1 tomorrow, the pole time from Ruben was a 1:29.9 in Div 1 last season. And Casey put it on the front row of the grid yesterday. He was second last time out at Laguna Seca in Div 1. This man's suddenly finding an absolutely amazing amount of form compared to where he had nothing. He waited until round 6 to score his first points, and at Spa in the way, he didn't just get his first points, he got his first ever podium, and now he's absolutely flying right now, this man. Up at the front row, someone who did wish he was flying is Mamba Strike. His fastest lap has been ripped away, and that extra point, he would have been loving that, but as it stands, that gap will then go up to 13 points between Maisto and Mamba Strike. Casey definitely making sure he secures this third ever podium. Second for BRT as they come down towards... He's improving again, isn't he? No, he's not. A 1:31 flat, which is still no terrible lap. And what's gone on with Maisto? Maisto's lost a chunk of time here. Has Maisto had an where will this show? No, it just shows at the center S. That gap is just magically gone under a second. A 1:31.2 last lap for Maisto, so Maisto's had a bit of a mistake somewhere, whilst we're giving Casey credit for an absolutely astonishing lap. Now, Mamba and Maisto 4 tenths he's lost already this lap, compared to where it started. But he's within slipstream range, so he doesn't need a good exit here out of 13, and he could have a decent run. Also, that Aston Martin a lot better in a straight line than the Corvette, it seemed. So this is where he's going to get some good benefit. But if these two do start getting racy, it's going to be a battle for the win, and it's going to be a huge battle for the championship as well. So it's going to be all out. They're going to leave nothing on the table here, and if they do end up coming to give each other a run for their money, Casey's not far off, and engine damage and just overall damage in general, hitting the barrier, isn't the nicest thing. And that could really benefit Casey, who's, 19 seconds up the road near enough. But the current pace that Casey has, he can close the gap down a bit more if he wants, especially if these two start coming together. But he's going to have to hope that they start having a battle soon. But right now, Maisto, they're just too equally matched, Maisto and Mamba. And Mamba just doesn't have it in him to close the gap down. Maybe there's too much pressure on him. Maybe he's been a bit too cautious, but we know he's got the pace. Or his tyres may be falling off a bit here. 7 minutes to go. Fuel-wise, Maisto's a lot better on fuel as well. Neither of them are going to run out of fuel. Phil, he's got a 1.3 second penalty. Tim's penalty is flawless. But Phil, nonetheless, 7 seconds back is Tim, and 7 minutes to go. That 1.3 second penalty is going to be a bit of a burden as well, but will Phil be getting 1 or 2 points for this race? Or will he magically pull? It's still possible. Maisto and Mamba strike then. 1.2 seconds is the gap. A 1:30.9 last lap, or 1:31.3, lost 4 tenths for that lap Mamba strike did compared to Maisto. So Mamba really needs to start finding some time here. Tyres are degrading. Yeah, they're pretty even with Maisto's. Casey is also catching Mamba, not at a huge rate, especially with the time left, but Casey comfortably driving as the fastest guy on track as well. Last lap, Casey fastest on track again, a 1:30.8. So he definitely deserves some praise there. He's definitely having a brilliant race there. Mamba losing more time again to Maisto, and you just have to think that he's losing too much time. If Maisto will be gaining 15 points, Mamba will be gaining 14 points. That gap will increase to 13 points. And it's looking like, even though it's going to come mathematically possible, it's going to be a close one unless Maisto now was a big mistake here. It's unlikely. Maisto just needs to be flawless. Huber and Elmer. Huber's going at it. That gap, Mamba suddenly found a bit of time. He's through the first sector. He's gained a huge chunk of time, but he's through this middle sector. Yes, he's in a bit of dirt, yeah, which can cause a bit of problems, and his tyres are falling off, but Maisto's tyres are also falling off, and he's got to start putting in something within these last 4 minutes there. He was a bit wide through turn 11. On the exit of 11, that's going to hamper him a bit. But nonetheless, he just needs to get himself in slipstream range and have a good run out of turn 13. As we've seen, he's a lot better through the CNRSs than Maisto is. He does gain a lot of time, especially on the run down towards turn 4. Now he needs a good exit of 3 so he can get into slipstream, get a couple tenths, and then do the exact same thing again down towards turn 4. he just needs to be close enough where he doesn't lose any time through the middle sector, but he's at the point where he's just about getting a slight draft from the slipstream, getting a slight benefit. But you see there, through the center S, gains time on Mamba Strike. Last lap though, he took a 10th out of him, Mamba did, but a 10th, he's a bit more than a 10th. And now we're coming through the middle sector where Maisto's seemingly the quicker guy, but last lap, Casey again, the quicker driver. Casey's still the quickest driver on track, and I'm sure he's just hoping that Mamba and Maisto would have a coming together, a pretty big one at that. 1.6 seconds, that gap's really increasing, and that's Tim going past Phil, I think. And you almost have to think that was kind of inevitable. Tim's a lot quicker than Phil, no disrespect to Phil, but he also has that 3-second penalty. But that gap dipped up to 2 seconds there, and Mamba's just losing out on pace. Mamba just does not have the pace, and again, you see there, he's just got no grip. He will have 2 more laps at the line. And he's just lost a huge chunk of time that lap. Casey, I do believe this will be his fastest lap. His first time getting fastest lap, I must say as well. And I can't see anyone else taking fastest lap from him. Absolutely blistering. This man was down in 6th at the end of lap 1, qualified 3rd. Gets the fastest lap. Comes back from a first lap crash as well, and last lap wasn't the quickest, but he was definitely the second quickest. Maisto put his foot down a bit there, but look through sector 1. Mamba's gained nearly a second, but it's through the middle sector. He just doesn't have the time. Mamba apparently purple through sector 1, but through turn 8. Not having the grip. Casey slowly falling off the back of Mamba now, as Mamba's just trying to pull anything he can. A last lap dash. And he's close as well. Now this is where he's really good. Through sector 3 and through the first and third sector, this is where Mamba's better than Maisto. Didn't have the better exit, but he's just got the tiny bit of slipstream. He's got the faster car in a straight line. This is where he now needs to get a bit of a benefit. He needs a good exit through the center S's. He's going to need a good run. It's still winnable. Anything can happen, but the final lap to go then. Who's going to win, Mamba or Maisto? My money's on Maisto. I don't think Mamba's going to necessarily have the pace, but you never know. That gap's under a second. Goes back up. He's not going to have a long enough run in the draft here, but he can hopefully just close it down a bit. There goes the red light for Maisto. He's definitely not bothered saving any fuel. He's definitely just gone full at it. And he's going to have a bit of a draft as well, all the way up towards turn 6. But 6 and 7 is not where you want dirty air, but he is close, and it is still possible. He's twitchy through 6, through 7. He's struggling for grip, I must say. And now this is what we're going to see, Maisto pulling the gap, pulling advantage. There's Elmer crossing the line. Tim actually got himself up to 6th. Phil will get 8th and get a point. But Tim, engine damage at the end of lap 1, will take 4 points out of this. Mamba's just not going to have enough in him, but Casey, BRT will be taking home 12 points from this with Casey's fastest lap, compared to the 6 points Phil Cannon will take home. So that'll jump them into 5th in the standings. Bob towards the line then. It was a good undercut through the second pit stop, and Maisto will win and increase his championship lead to Maisto, and it's going to go down to the final round. Mamba picked up engine damage at the end there as well somehow. Casey though, with a brilliant drive, involved in a first lap accident. He'll take his first ever fastest lap of the race. He will take home 3rd and his 3rd ever podium. He struggled all season one. It never seemed to come. He had a terrible start to the season. And now the podiums just keep coming in. Huber got his first ever podium yesterday in GTEL. He'll come home and take fourth. A brilliant result from him. And Tim, involved in a first lap accident, didn't give up though. Engine damage at the end of lap 1. He will come home and take home 6th. And it's a brilliant result by him. And it's a brilliant race despite the lack of drivers. A big day for Maisto. Not necessarily the best of days for UMF, but they already have the team championship. Confirmation of the results, and I'm seeing not the best comments already in the Discord, so there might be a protest, so check out our social medias for that. But anyway, Maisto wins after a brilliant strategy, a brilliant undercut on Mamba Striker. Mamba Striker just didn't have the pace, didn't have the tyres come the end of the race. He will end up taking second after being on pole and looking favourite throughout. Casey, a brilliant recovery drive into third. Huber couldn't get back-to-back podiums here in Interlagos. He'll take home fourth. Vassenkopf got his best result of the season, finishing fifth. And Tim, a brilliant comeback drive for him, will take sixth. Elmer in seventh, back on, God knows, probably his second GTL race, and Phil will take home a point for himself. Thank you all for watching. Join me tomorrow 7 PM British summertime for Div 1 at Interlagos. The final round at Interlagos. Both championships have been decided, but there's still a lot on the table, and there's going to be a brilliant race nonetheless. Can Ruben be taken down? We'll find out tomorrow. Join me tomorrow 7 PM British summertime. But until then, thank you.